what's it like to teach with DaDa ABC? Then, with an arm for a nose and a mouth for a head, and now. I started making YouTube videos over a year ago now when I made a video for a DaDa competition. But a lot has changed on DaDa. So I wanted to make a new video about what it's like working for DaDa ABC now compared to when I first started. If you're interested in teaching with DaDa ABC, I've included my link in the description below. Then, trial classes were 14 minutes long. It's quite a short amount of time. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise if a child is quite a handful, or if they've been given a trial that is just not at their level, either too easy or too difficult. You either finish the courseware really quickly, or if it's too difficult, it's quite a lot of pressure to give a good impression of DaDa in the hopes that they will sign up and you will get commission for the trial class. Commission has stayed the same. You used to get, I can't remember the exact amount, I will pop it in the details, but it's the same. If a trial class converts, you still get a little bonus. Now, trials are still 14 or 25 minutes long. I quite like the 25-minute trial classes. Again, if it's at the right level for the student, it's quite good to work with them for longer and they get a better idea of what a full class is like. It's also good because I do 4-hour shifts, and if there's a 25-minute trial class, I have 5 minutes instead of 2 minutes to go and have a wee before the next class, which is really useful for someone with a very tiny bladder. Then, contracts are set at a rate of RMB per hour. It was based on your demo class. I don't know if they still do demo classes or if you just speak to someone within DaDa. But when I started, you would do a demo class. That would be a class with a real student, and DaDa would assess how you do and then set your rate of pay. The rate of pay would be fixed for your contract hours, and you would get that same rate of pay if you did part-time, what we would just call in England overtime hours. But if you have a student that doesn't show up, you still get paid full price. If you have a student that cancels before the lesson, you get paid half of your hourly fee. Now, contracts are very different. I was offered this contract which I declined because I'm still seeing out my third original contract, but for new teachers, the base rate is less. I think it's maybe like £9 or £10 an hour, but you get 30% bonus just for turning up to the class on time, and then another 30% for every class with a regular student. That's how I understand it, but I think they've made it a little bit complicated. They say that you could work out earning more money, but I imagine there are lots of things that restrict that. You also don't get paid if you don't have a class within your contract time. Another change now is the peak hours. When I started, the peak hours were for 3 hours from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Beijing time, but now they are only 7 to 9 p.m. So when I signed up for my third contract, I actually lost a few hours that they couldn't promise me again. However, I soon gained students in those hours who then asked me for more availability. So I ended up working 4 hours for 4 days a week instead of 3 hours. So that really helped. Then I only encountered about 3 different coursewares, and some original coursewares I really think are structured quite well for students. Others are not so good. Now, there is a lot more courseware that I'm seeing coming through. I'm going to be honest with you, and I've reported this in class to DaDa. Some are just really basic PowerPoints, but their core courseware, they are updating, and I have to say the trial classes are much better. Some of the main courseware is much more dynamic. I'm seeing more storybook courseware, which is really good for my young learners. Simple stories that are very visual. They're clearly not investing as much in their promotion for recruiting new teachers now, but focusing their attention on courseware, and I think that's a good thing. They need to provide quality courses or they just won't retain students. Then we used to get bonuses. When I first started with DaDa, you would get a bonus for teaching the same student for 4 classes and then again for 21 classes. After teaching for 3 months, a lot of my regular students came to their 21st class in September, and I got quite a good oomph to my salary that month. But it clearly can't have been a cost-efficient scheme for DaDa, because now I don't get bonuses anymore. I hardly ever convert trial classes because all my students are regular. As I said, I do see how it wasn't working out to be that feasible for DaDa. You have to remember, you are self-employed and you are contracting your work out freelance to DaDa. It's not like they're your employers that are entitled to give you things like holiday pay and annual bonuses, although that would be nice. Then you got paid commission for new tutors. That's still the case, except now I have a few referrals on there and none of them have gone through, so I think maybe I've had some applicants who are not native speakers who have seen my link on YouTube. They are still recruiting, but not at the rate they were when I started. It's a commission that I've seen other teachers kind of brag about on YouTube about how much they got, but it's not something that I account for at the moment. When I first started DaDa, there seemed to be competitions every month to tweet something, to promote DaDa. To tweet your favourite prop is one that I won and got like £30 just for writing a tweet. Maybe it wasn't as much as £30, but still it was a welcome extra in my pay packet. Now they don't do competitions anymore, but it was just a perk, and as I said, I think it's good they're focusing on improving the courses that they are giving. I think they should be utilising Chinese social media and paying tutors to advertise their services, tutoring with DaDa, on their Chinese social media platforms so that they can focus on gaining more students because they clearly have enough teachers. Overall, I'm still really happy to work for DaDa. I don't know what will happen when my contract is up, but I'll be sure to keep you posted. I still find it crazy that so many people ask me about Cambly on here and have so much interest in working for Cambly when you can earn so much more per hour working for a company like DaDa, and it's at least got some sense of guarantee because it's contracted. I've definitely learned a lot about myself and about teaching through my time so far on DaDa. I hope that sharing what I've learned helps you. If you have found it helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.